From Vanguard to Gatekeeper, the Marxist monopoly on revolution. Marxism began as a monopoly. It was engineered that way. From the very start, Marx positioned himself as the author of the only legitimate doctrine. He didn't build consensus, he built a gate. He smeared anarchists like Proudhon and Bakunin, aligned with banking elites and Zionist racial pseudoscientists like Moses Hess, and helped design a centralized ideology to funnel all resistance into state command. By the time of the First International, Marx had already begun purging dissent. He didn't tolerate competing visions, he crushed them. The International Workingmen's Association wasn't destroyed by internal debate. It was hijacked, gutted, and discarded by Marx and his allies, who feared what real bottom-up revolution might unleash. What followed, history recorded as revolution. But what it became was a replacement. Anarchist movements had been the original engine of working-class revolt. Mutualist, decentralized, anti-statist, and grounded in solidarity. But with the rise of Marxist-Leninist parties, the terms of struggle were rewritten. No longer was the enemy hierarchy. It was now rebranded as temporary centralism. The Vanguard would liberate the people, they claimed, by seizing the state, consolidating power, and guiding the masses like children through scientific revolution. But scientific socialism became state religion, and the priesthood wore red. Once in power, Marxist regimes didn't just repress capitalists, they erased their own competition on the left. Anarchist unions were banned. Mutualist communes were liquidated. Syndicalist victories were rewritten as Marxist ones. The Bolsheviks didn't win the Russian Revolution, they silenced everyone else who had fought for it. The same playbook played out across the 20th century: Spain, Ukraine, Hungary, Korea, China. Wherever grassroots anti-authoritarian socialism emerged, Marxists either crushed it with tanks or suffocated it through absorption. The Vanguard never meant empowerment, it meant monopoly. Even memory itself was rewritten. Spain's anarchist revolution, where millions of workers collectivized land, industry, and transportation without state oversight, was either erased from textbooks or reframed as a Marxist-led civil war. The Makhnovists in Ukraine, who fought both the whites and the Bolsheviks, were smeared as bandits and eliminated once their utility ran out. The Kronstadt sailors, once the pride of the revolution, were executed for demanding the very freedom they had bled to defend. The narrative was always the same. Anyone not under the Central Committee was an enemy of progress. Meanwhile, the Marxist academic machine went to work, especially in the West. Soviet historians, Western sympathizers, and liberal leftists canonized the myth that Marxism had always led the struggle. Names like Emma Goldman, Buenaventura Durruti, Lucy Parsons, and the CNT FAI were relegated to footnotes if mentioned at all. The real history of working-class revolution was buried beneath a mountain of red-washed orthodoxy. Marx became gospel, the state became savior, and anarchism was rewritten as either failure or fantasy. It was essential to the ratchet. For the control system to work, there had to be a left that still believed in state power. Marxism, with its veneer of scientific inevitability and centralized discipline, was the perfect foil. It gave intellectuals and workers the illusion of rebellion while steering them straight back into the machinery of subjugation. The state remained intact, just painted red. And so, the gate was sealed. The Vanguard was now the gatekeeper. Revolution became bureaucracy. Dissent became deviation. And the left became a mirror of the very systems it claimed to fight. But the original fire never went out. It was just hidden, deliberately, violently, systematically. And in what follows, we'll excavate the erasures, the buried movements, the suppressed victories, and the anarchist truths they tried to burn. Because before they red-washed the world, they had to burn the black flag.